Hello, welcome to another episode of Lee's Lighthouse. I sincerely appreciate you joining me. Again, I don't know if that's the final title of the YouTube channel. I'm just rolling with it. I haven't gotten responses like comments on anybody saying, oh, it's horrible. So part of me is thinking that I should just stick with it. So let me know if you think it's just like miserably horrible, and then I won't say Lee's Lighthouse anymore. But otherwise, that's what we're going with. So, again, welcome to Lee's Lighthouse. You will see that I'm in a different background today. I'm actually road tripping, like seriously, RVing across the country in a 46-foot, including the trailer that I'm towing on the back, RV. It's a very cool experience, taking my time, not, I'm going from Seattle all the way to Mississippi. So I'm just really excited about that. But on my path, I stopped in Arizona, and I will tell you, he's amazing, but you're going to hear from yourself how amazing he is. My absolutely amazing nephew lives in Arizona and works at the University of Arizona. We just talk about all types of topics and subjects. We're taking an ethics class together. I mean, like lots of cool things. And so I just decided it's been a couple of days since I've done a video. He has wanted to be on with me and have a conversation because really the point of this channel is exactly as I say. It's not just about authentic leadership, but it's saying that everybody is a leader. Everybody's a leader in an area that matters to you. And so I decided to invite Carlson on to the show to have a conversation with me. And Carlson, like I said, welcome to the show. Welcome to Lee's Lighthouse.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I'm very glad to have you here. What are we going to talk about today?
I'd like to talk about the current state of dating in the modern age.
You do realize I'm like really old, right?
Well, I think it affects everybody. Like I see people of all ages on in the dating realms. I've had to get off the dating apps myself, but I
You've gotten off the dating apps?
I
Like
have
because they're
recently.
because they're trash or what?
I just don't think it's good for our psychology. I think it's a negative influence on society.
You think dating apps are a negative influence on society?
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many questions that come to my mind off of that.
Mhm.
Okay, first, then how are people going to meet? I even met my husband on a dating app. But let's put that aside because I do want to know, how do you expect people to actually meet other people? But let's go to why specifically are they a detriment on society? Let me get your take on that first.
I think it's negatively influenced our psychology in the sense that it's giving us the illusion of choice. And what I mean by that is within our proximity, you're using a dating app and you're choosing the proximity and you're getting all these matches.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that all of those matches are actually options, like are actually like people that you have access to, when really you may or you may not. Maybe there was just a validation effort there where they're just like, I'm just swiping. I've met with people who are married. I've met with
Did
people
they
who
disclose that they were married?
absolutely not. And some do. You get a myriad of different things. But say you get 40 matches. Out of those 40 matches, how many of those people are actually people who you would actually want to spend time with? And then you have other things like we can bring in AI, like people are using filters and things like that. There's catfishing.
Now I know what catfishing is, but okay, so filters. I'm just gonna quickly go through this, even though I think like I'm old, so everybody knows this more than I do. But let's just make sure that everybody knows it. Filters. So you know how I right now have no makeup on. I look very, very. I mean, unlike any other video I think I've recorded, very just plain and me, and I'm okay with that. But a filter could like make me look 20 years younger. I could have little bunny ears. I could have like really thin and beautiful eyebrows or very long eyelashes. I could have the desert or the beach behind me. And I could just like, it literally could change my entire appearance. Filters. Catfishing, isn't that when you're pretending like I put up a picture of Rihanna? Let's just go with Rihanna for right now. I put up a picture of Rihanna and I say, I'm Lee, and it's actually Rihanna, right?
Well,
And
you
I'm
can
not
even do it
really.
with self to self. You could say, this person this is a doctored picture of the person, and then they show up on the date, and you're like, that's not you.
So catfishing can even be a fake picture of you.
A fake picture, an old picture, a doctored picture.
Okay, I used a very old picture. I used a very old picture on my dating profile when I was dating 10 years ago when I met my husband. But not, I did use some old pictures, but I also used new pictures too. So because some of my old pictures is like they had me in really cool environments and stuff. And it's like I want to show the full gamut. And so yeah, I used some old pictures, but I also use new pictures. That's not catfishing, right?
It depends. Because look at this. Like, I want recent pictures. Like, if I'm going to go on a date with somebody, I want to know what they look like right now. And matter of fact, here's the tactic I've used when I've been on dating apps. I have layers. So the first step is we match. The second step is we need to get on the phone. I need to hear your voice. I need to connect. The third step is we're FaceTiming. Like, I need to see what you look like now, not what you look like 5 years ago at the beach cannon party. Like, when you were, looking at your, I like your highlight reel. I like that, but I think it's not genuine. Like,
Who's to say what genuine is? It's all genuine.
it is.
Even my
it is
picture,
you.
even my old picture that I had on my profile when I met my husband, that is real. It was.
It
was
real.
part of me. It was part of me at that time, and you got to see this progression of who I am. You got to see many aspects. So, what do you consider recent? So, what's considered recent?
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical.
Okay.
Say I sent you a picture of me when I was a bodybuilder, when I was like very healthy and I was looking good. And then I put that on my profile. And then when you meet me, that's what I'm putting to you, but I've gained 80 pounds and I'm
Okay,
overweight, but I'm not posting my overweight version.
Okay, now that's different. Like I said, I did post. Okay, I didn't post any pictures of me without makeup.
I don't think that's catfishing.
I didn't post any pictures of me without makeup. But I'm saying, but it's still me. So
It is you.
So if I'm posting old pictures and new pictures, you get to see the full gamut. You posting your bodybuilding pictures, that is you. I think you have every right, in my opinion. You have every right to post your bodybuilding pictures. Those are you. You also should post what you look like now.
Okay, that's genuine to me.
Yeah,
See,
that's what
but
I'm
if
saying.
what if they only posted the bodybuilder and then you show up and you're like, who are you?
Okay, let's be honest here. When I was dating, so when I first got divorced and started dating, I was 35.
Mm-hmm.
And I was into older individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out with one person. I think that I had set my age limit at like 55.
Okay. That's fair.
It might have been 60. I don't know exactly, but it was in that range between 55 and 60. Mm-hmm. And so I went out with this guy, and just over, because I never did dinner. It's like I had my own little, you have your sequence, I have my own little sequence. It wasn't, I'm going to take you through 10 steps of making sure that you look a certain way, because mine wasn't about looks. It was more about who you are inside. Mm-hmm. And so I had my little thing too, where it's like, I'm not doing dinner with you. We either did drinks or we did coffee. If it was morning, we did drinks. If it was evening, we did, if it was morning. Was that a Freudian slip? I don't know. If it was morning, we did coffee. If it was evening, we did drinks. And so we were out for drinks. And I just finally looked at him and I told him, I said, okay, so I have a pretty wide age range. Like, I'm 35 years old, and I think my age was set to like 59. Okay. Right? And I said, so that's a pretty wide range. You're not 59, are you?
They were older?
No, I'm actually like 63 or 64. But people tell me I look, 55. It's like, I don't care what you look. It's like, I already have the threshold. Now, see, to me, that was wrong. If I'm setting my threshold in such a wide way,
they're lying.
That's lying. And I was just like, lying is a no-go. And so that was the end of that. But we went around the world because I still have not gotten this whole, and we don't have enough time because I'm not doing an hour-long podcast, but I still don't get why online dating is the detriment to the psychology of the world. Yeah. I mean, I'm still not getting this.
So here, let me go into it. So I talked about proximity. So we have this illusion. There, I just named a couple things that I think
Mhm.
are problematic. But we have this illusion of choice. And it's not, it's the illusion of choice, but it's also fast. We live in this fast-paced
Mhm.
society where everything is it's fast. I call it fast food dating.
Okay.
That's what I put
Fair.
to it. It's fast food dating, and also it's like you're almost objectified. It's like and what it turns into
Aren't
here.
you a dating anyway?
Well, no, listen to this. Listen to this. What I mean by that proximity and that number is okay, you have 40 options. So when
Mhm.
you think you have optionality, you start getting pickier. You start saying, oh, I have 40 guys that like me or 40 women that like me,
Or
meaning
40 non-binary individuals that
or
love
that
me.
whatever
Yes.
your speed. And I have all these people that like me. So oh, when you have options, what do? Just like if you have 40 jobs that want you get to be picky.
Okay,
You get to
fair.
say, oh, I don't need you, like, or so here's the thing. I see that happening, especially because I think women
Oh,
specifically,
okay.
women have a lot of options. They say it's statistically, I've looked at statistics on this. Statistically, like more women, I think it's like 80% of women swipe right on women, or 80% of men swipe right on women. Like 30% of women swipe right on men. So then women have this large pool of men
Of
that,
men looking to have a one night stand, looking to, I mean, so,
but no,
and
but it warps. I think it
it
warps.
evens out in the end.
No, it doesn't even out. And here's why. Men now, guess who actually wins? It's the 30% of men who all of these women are fighting for. All these women want this 30% of men. This 30% of men now have the options. The women are dating the same men, saying all
Okay.
these men are jerks, all these men are
Right.
bad. And then guess what? What happens to that other segment of men, that other 70% of men? Nothing. They don't get, they have no, they're not, they're sexless. They have no dating
Oh,
options. They
they
have
have no
no,
sex.
but guess what? I look at things like this. I'm like, what happens when men don't have options? I'm looking at like the shootings. I'm looking at all these things. I know I'm going way south, but I'm looking at all these things, and I think that the direction that things are going,
Because men are getting sex.
yes, because
Okay.
men, oh, because I think this happens in nature too. The alpha is usually going to have the pick of the litter. And I think that's what's happening in our society. But I also think what happens to men on multiple sectors, dating, when they can't get women, when they're told they're not needed, when they're told,
You realize that there are gay and lesbian and queer, and there's all, I mean, the gamut of these dating apps, polyamorous, there's the gamut of these dating apps isn't just one man to one woman.
that's
And
true.
so I'm just saying that
What
there's
I'm
women that go through this, there are transgender women, transgender men that go through this. So you're going to get rid of an entire category of apps because cis
who
straight,
said get rid?
you
I didn't
just said
say
it's
get
a
rid.
detriment to
I
society.
mean, I think TikTok is a detriment to society, but I'm not saying
Oh,
get rid of it. I'm just saying understand the impacts of
okay,
that
I'll
it
get it.
has on
Okay, get it.
society.
I'll get it.
And I just, what I'm saying is, I don't think that, I think it's a negative, meaning we're using these apps, and I don't think it's actually giving us what we want. Matter of fact, I've been on many dates with many women, and none of them are satisfied with it. But it's just also
With the apps.
with the apps. But these apps are also socially engineered to keep us swiping. They
Yes.
don't want you to
Just like
actually find,
all of them.
yeah, they
All
don't
of
want you to
them.
find a match. They want you to keep swiping. And so I've met up with all these women, and it's like they're versions, not just women.
It's
I've met,
unrealistic,
it's
which
unrealistic.
started with Disney movies.
Well, and then even the pickiness. Like I have friends who are like, oh, like they like they'll look through the profile and be like, oh, they like the Celtics, but it's like everything else is great. It's like he's a good looking person
Okay,
or
do
a
you
good
want
looking
that one
individual.
anyway?
But
Seriously, do you want that one anyway?
I don't. What I'm saying is, it's like, what if that was really a good match for this person, and now they're like, well, I have 50 other people that I
Then
can
let them
look
go.
at.
You know what I say? Then let them go get those 50 other people, because if you're going to be like that, not interested anyway. Not interested anyway. And so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I am curious. I am curious. Okay, so you're saying